Welcome everyone, my name's Ali. Thank you for tuning in for a brand new Call of Duty Black Ops 3 multiplayer video. Today we're going to be focusing on one of the biggest new additions to Black Ops 3 multiplayer, which is the new specialist characters. These specialist characters each have their own special weapon and special ability. I've talked about this before, but we got some new characters and I can also now use some in-game screenshots, my friends, to show exactly what I mean and to show you guys exactly what the characters look like, because all of these characters have their own unique image, unique style, and also their own background story as well. So we're going to be jumping straight into them. I'll be letting you guys know which ones I've used, which ones I really like, and then you guys can let me know which one you think you're going to be using within multiplayer. It's worth noting there are a few characters that have not been revealed yet. There are 9 in total, and so far a few of them are still undercover, still under wraps, and also some of the abilities have actually been switched around since I played the game. So Treyarch is still fine-tuning all of these abilities and still fine-tuning everything you're seeing within Specialist, but in terms of how it works and how you can actually activate it, you'll be choosing one of these specialist abilities or special weapons, and then you'll take that into a game. You cannot change that once you're in the game, and your specialist ability or weapon will gradually be built up as you play a game and then can be earned and used. Once it's used, you've got to rebuild it again, and you'll be getting these around 3 to 4 times, probably maximum, a game in multiplayer. So if there are 9 characters in total, each of them have an ability and a weapon, that's going to give you 18 different choices, which means you have to play 18 full games of multiplayer matches before you even have tried all of them at all and can really decide which ones you like. So let's get into the information and see what it's all about. So first image right here is from Ruin. We've seen Ruin before. He was actually shown within the very first reveal trailer for Black Ops 3, and he's got the gravity spikes, which allow him to jump up in the air. He smashes them into the ground and sends out like a big pulse of energy, which will wipe out anyone within that pulse. It's very similar to the ground slam that you can get within Destiny. It's probably the most similar thing you can compare it to, if any of you guys are wondering. I used it a few times. It can be very good on objectives. You can see within the multiplayer reveal trailer that is actually used in that way, and it just smashes everyone up that's on the objective. But of course, it's not very long range, so it's more for those guys that like to be quite aggressive. So next up we have his ability. His ability is Overdrive. His cybernetic leg augmentation that enables a temporary burst of speed. This is really useful for, again, objective play. If you want to get to a position really quickly and to be very, very nippy, you're going to be harder to hit, you're going to be more quick, you're going to be zooming around the map like a madman, and it's going to be really effective, as I said, if you want to get to a position quickly and be very, very agile. Next up, we have a brand new character. This is Seraph. Seraph has the Annihilator. This is the one that I really, really like. I talked about it a lot when I got to play the game at Treyarch, and it is also something that I've recorded and used a lot of gameplay with when I was playing the game last week at E3. The Annihilator is basically a massive high-caliber revolver that devastates and has penetrating rounds. And notice her arm is actually a metal arm, or at least has some sort of reinforcement. You can see that it's not a human arm, and the Treyarch guy said that this gun is so powerful that if you try to shoot this gun with a normal hand, it would just blow your hand off. So she has the ability to use this gun. That's why it's so powerful. It is very similar to like a golden gun, or the golden gun you can get again in Destiny, which is basically a one-shot, one-kill. But to use it effectively, you have to be accurate, you have to be on target, you have a limited amount of time to use it, and it's really good fun, that's for sure. Next up we have, my friends, the Seraph ability. This is called Combat Focus, and this one is really useful. While active, all score earned will trigger a bonus multiplier towards score streaks. I use this one all the time within my multiplayer videos, mainly because I wanted to get all those big kill streaks for you guys, but it's really useful. It can cut off a good amount of kills from your kill streak if you use it effectively. If you're getting 2 or 3 kills while using this ability, you're getting double points, that's going to cut off 2 or 3 kills you would have had to have gotten normally if you weren't using it. So Combat Focus is really, really useful. If you're the kind of person that does go for those high kill streaks, I definitely recommend it, and personally, it's one that I really like to use. So next up we have Outrider. Outrider is really cool and has the Sparrow crossbow. It's a compound bow that fires bolts with increased force the longer it is drawn and explodes enemies on impact. We've seen this a few times again within the trailers. It is a lot of fun. It's definitely harder to use than the golden gun, simply because of the fact you have to draw it back and hold it, and the gun is like instantly going to shoot. It's really, really quick. The crossbow though does have the added ability of once it actually hits someone, it's going to also set off an explosive round, which means it can do some devastating damage to additional enemies that may not have directly been hit by the bow originally, which is really useful. In terms of ability, it's got Vision Pulse, Sonic Pulse that pings the surrounding area and reveals enemies within range. Now, this doesn't have a huge range, but you do know when you've been hit by it because you will actually have your gun glow red, so that's a really good indicator as to whether or not the enemy team are using it, whether or not you have been found. If you have been found and you do have a red glow around you, watch out. Someone knows exactly where you are because they are using this vision pulse ability. And it's very good if you want to just locate enemies, and honestly is again quite tactical. So I definitely say it's one of those good abilities to use. Next up we have the Reaper with the Scythe, the very first ever specialist ability we saw within the reveal trailer for Black Ops 3. He whips his bad boy out of his arm. It's absolutely insane. It's basically a minigun built into his arm. This dude's a massive robot, and again, one of the characters. So you will see like a robot literally around the map. And if you see the robot, you know that, of course, they're using one of these abilities. The characters that you pick from specialists will be your visual, sort of visual look within game. So it definitely represents you. This Scythe is, as I said, an arm integrated quad bow minigun, acts like a minigun from any of the previous Call of Duty games. Very good for just wiping out a lot of enemies. Not very good long range, better close range. You know what to expect with this one. It's definitely a lot of fun. Next up for its ability, we have Psychosis. Infiltrate enemy DNI system to simulate 3 instant decoy Reapers. So this is different. This is actually new from the build that I've played. So rather than his old ability, this new ability, which is currently Reaper's ability, when you activate it, will send out 3 decoys, or 3 instances, where only one of them will actually be you. So if you want to sort of make a really aggressive push, what you can do is just send out all of your versions of you, confuse the enemy, and then make like a tactical move. And they'll be like, whoa, who's who? Which person do we shoot at? What's going on? It's an interesting one. It's definitely going to confuse people. I'd assume, and I'd like to think that the decoys will have some sort of like visual representation that if you pick up on as an enemy, you know that it's not the real person. But I assume it would be quite subtle, quite slight, and you definitely have to get to know what that's going to be if you want to be able to locate the Psychosis ability when it's used against you. We come down to the final few characters. These 2 characters are the new ones that were shown at E3. First off, we have Prophet with a Tempest. This Tempest gun is a charged shot weapon that fires an arc of electricity, shocks targets and chain all nearby enemies. Again, we saw this in the latest multiplayer reveal trailer. Towards the end, I thought it was a crazy new weapon, and it is a crazy new weapon, but it's one of the specialist weapons. It's not available just standard within multiplayer, and as I said, it will freeze enemies once hit, and it will kill them, and if anybody are nearby, they'll get trapped within it as well, but it's got to be charged up, and it's not easy to use. That's for sure. This weapon is a good one, an interesting one, but definitely requires some accuracy and some precision. Next up we have Glitch. Glitch was actually, I believe, used as the robot's ability, so it's been switched around a little bit, as I say. Like, the game isn't final yet, but it's going to be a beta. I'm sure there's going to be a load of changes after the beta, then the game comes out on November the 6th this year. But Glitch allows you to flash back to a previous position with this system mod that hacks the battlefield simulation grid. So essentially what this means is it will take you back position-wise a few seconds to where you were. So if you run into a room and die and try and activate this, it's not going to work. What you want to do is, say you want to make an aggressive play. This is how I was thinking in my head, the best way of using it. Say you want to make an aggressive play. You run into a room, take out those people, then rather than worrying about getting out of that room, you just hit your glitch ability, and you're instantly going to be 2 seconds back again, so you're going to be miles away from that room, or at least further away from that room than you would be if you just ran. And it's very, very good to use in that sense. You can't use it in terms of objectives. If you go and run up to a flag and pick up that flag and then boost back again or glitch back again, you will no longer have that flag. You've gone back in time, gone back in positions. You can't use it like that. It's more just an interesting way to get out of situations, an interesting way to get around the map, I'd say. So that's going to lead to a lot of interesting plays, honestly. It's a very, very interesting one, as I say. I think a lot of people have fun with it. And finally, you have some very interesting ones, that's for sure. First off is the Hive from the brand new character Nomad. Deploys pod traps which release a deadly storm of nano drones when triggered. Now, thinking about it, I don't think I saw a single person use this once when playing Call of Duty Black Ops 3 at E3. Not at the recording sessions, not on the general multiplayer floor, at the E3 event. I just don't think I saw a single person use this. Maybe someone managed to capture some footage of it. If they did, I'll try and grab it for you guys. But a brand new character, brand new ability, just didn't see anyone using it. But honestly, his ability is the most interesting one. It's called Rejack. And it recovers the position of your death from injection of a nanoparticle serum. This is interesting because it's pretty much last stand, except you have to have had your ability ready to use and activated to actually pop this and use it. You can't just use it every single death. but it does literally bring you back from the dead. It will surround you in a green smoke. You may have seen it, one of the gameplays I've actually used already, and you'll pop out of that green smoke and you're back to life. Now, it's very obvious that you're using it because of the green smoke, and I think as soon as people see the green smoke, they're going to start looking at you. You're probably going to die as soon as you jump out of that green smoke, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just hoping it's not too powerful. I don't really want to get killed by someone that's using rejack. That's just going to be really frustrating, but this is 6 out of 9 characters, leaving 3 more left to be revealed, and I'm pretty sure during the rest of this year we will get information and look at the rest of these 3 characters and see what all of the abilities are and all the weapons are within the specialist characters for Call of Duty Black Ops 3. So let me know what you guys are thinking. Some interesting ones in there, some ones that maybe go, okay. I think this is the biggest controversial part of Black Ops 3 multiplayer, in all honesty. It's the funnest part and the most interesting part and the most innovative part. But there's a lot of things in there which I could find frustrating, like just being one shot by the golden gun, having someone revive themselves in front of me, someone glitching behind me. I can see it potentially leading to some raging and some annoyance, but I feel like Treyarch have got this, man. But I think they've got this, and as I said, it does take a while to actually use and activate these abilities. They can't be used all the time, all game, so you're not going to run into them too often. So there we go, guys. All of these specialist weapons and abilities that have been revealed so far. Once the final 3 get revealed, of course, I'll report back to you guys with them as well. Of course, if you missed any recent videos, check them out on screen here, including the potential return of old Call of Duty games being remade for next gen, baby, and also just more Black Ops 3 gameplay, including a 70-kill game, which was absolutely insane. So thank you for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. You guys are epic, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.